Since the 1960s, SACCOs have been the force behind financial inclusion, especially for those unable to access loans from banks. Although they initially had restricted membership to specific sectors, such as teachers or the police, they have expanded to include the general public and have become central to a culture of saving and investing that runs deep across the country. This week, we examine how SACCOs promote regular saving and responsible borrowing, helping millions to build wealth one contribution at a time.
Also, today on Mint, motor insurance. What to look for before you buy to make sure you're always covered when you need it most. A new wave of technology is giving people a choice. We explore the booming business of laser tattoo removal. Turning wanderlust into profit. Linda Abuto's travel success secrets.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Mola, kila siku niko chesa. Mola, make more bila stress. Mola, kila siku wesa. Mola, make more bila stress.
This week on Money Moves, we explore how SACCOs are built on a simple yet powerful idea. People coming together to pool their money in a collective fund, save consistently, and access affordable loans, whether for school fees, buying land, or starting a business.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
If there's one thing Kenyans understand, it's the power of pulling together. From chamas to SACCOs, it's a system Kenyans have used for years that is built on savings, trust, and collective growth. While the chama kitty might help you furnish your home or buy a cow, a SACCO takes it a step further and transforms savers into homeowners, business owners, and investors. Let's understand how SACCOs work.
A SACCO, as the name suggests, it's savings and credit. So members come together, they save money, and a member borrows under the terms that the SACCO prescribes, depending on the product the member wants. It could be short-term financial needs, whereby you can get things like school fees loans, emergency loans. It could be long-term, we have development loans and the like. And it could also be facilitation in the market, trade financing, things like buying cars, as well as buying things that you normally use, assets for use, let's say cars, it could be trucks, machines.
But before you qualify for benefits, you need to pay a joining or membership fee and a monthly contribution, which vary from SACCO to SACCO.
For all SACCOs, there is a minimum saving level. For Nation SACCO, it's 2,000. There is also the registration and the membership fee. Once you pay those, you save at your own pace, so long as you are meeting the minimum of 2,000. In order to accommodate people who have irregular income, we mostly require that members, at least in a year, put in 24,000. So it's the minimum you need to save for a year in order to qualify for benefits of the SACCO, mostly dividends and rebates.
To qualify for credit facilities, most SACCOs require you to save consistently for at least 6 months for long-term loans and 3 months for short-term loans. However, once you apply for it, a loan must be fully guaranteed.
And after that, you are given facilities ranging from ×3 up to ×5 of your savings. But really, it depends on members. If a member does not want to have guarantors, that member can even borrow within the savings so that you are taking less than your savings. But most of the choices really are with the member and the ability to pay. Apart from the ability to pay, there is also the issue of getting guarantors. And if you are not able to get guarantors, we now allow members to change properties, mostly land and buildings in good urban centers and shopping centers, as well as cars. And any other assets that members have can also be considered.
Members are usually encouraged to borrow loans for income-generating purposes to ease repayment and prevent defaulting or being listed on CRB. Unfortunately, the pandemic led to massive job losses, which hindered SACCO members from continuing their monthly contributions.
The experience during COVID showed that we need to interact with the members more to hold members' hands to support them. And we did that through, after the retrenchment, we invited members to come and discuss, and we were able to restructure their loans to a level that they can afford to pay, even with the loss of their one source of income. In 2020, we restructured about a fifth of our loans. 300 million we restructured for members, and the members were able to pay. Those efforts are reflected in our bad debt position, non-performing loans, falling from 16% during COVID to 10% now. Now it's at around 10.5%. So those efforts of engaging members to see how we can assist them, how they can repay their loans despite whatever happens to their jobs, has helped a lot. The other thing related to that is to appeal to our members. When you borrow money, please put it in something that can give you income when the unexpected happens. Kenya is a hustling country. We have really made the hustle a big one in Kenya. So we encourage members to have side hustles so that even if they lose their employment, they have other resources that can enable them to pay the loans and also enable them to get by as they look for other alternatives as they think of what to do next.
Joining a SACCO is the easiest form of investment, which can help you achieve your dreams through affordable credit facilities.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
Car insurance is not something that you buy in a rush or later. It is mandatory under Kenyan law and therefore requires due diligence. Most local insurance companies offer different levels of motor vehicle insurance covers which are priced differently. You've probably heard one being asked about their cover and whether it's comprehensive or third party. Kenbright CEO Ezekiel Masharia helps us understand some of the factors to consider and understand before you buy a car insurance policy.
One thing people need to realize is the cost of repairing cars have gone up. Whenever you see that dollar going up, that means your spare parts coming into the country, which are priced in the dollar, are also going up. So some of those factors are eating into the insurance company's cost. If you look at general insurance, motor composes a third of that business. In fact, 20 years ago, motor was 50% of the market. And one of the key things helping motor is because we have a mandatory requirement to have motor insurance for our cars. And the mandatory insurance is not the comprehensive. I always tell people it's the third party which is comprehensive. The key benefits are, if you hit somebody on the road or you hit somebody's car, you get reimbursed. So that's really the purpose of the motor insurance. So the key thing people should check out is what is the insurance going to cover. I know insurance in Kenya has been, we call it commoditized, so it's just, the rate is X% without checking the risks. The insurance companies are getting wiser and they're a bit more innovative towards who should pay more. So we've started at the first level, which is value of car, because the statistics have shown the cost of repairing a more expensive car compared to the value of the car is lower than these other cars. And also type of insurance company you're working with. You also need to look at insurance companies who are profitable. If somebody is profitable, it means that they have money to listen to you in case you want a favor. We call it ex gratia, but sometimes it applies to more of the large corporates. But also, if you look at an insurance company that is profitable, they might be a bit more lenient on you. But if somebody is making losses because they didn't collect enough money to pay claims, it's not that they don't want to pay you extra, it's just that they don't have the money. The problem is that since motor insurance has a mandatory side to it, people tend to ignore the features. One of the areas people need to understand is that if you hit somebody on the road, it's you who has hit the person. It's not the insurer. So the insurer reimburses you up to what he promised you. So if, for example, you hit somebody on the road and they sue you for 5 million shillings, if your policy only pays 3 million, then that is what you'll get. You still have to pay the extra 2 million. You should be keen on checking, what are you really purchasing, and those are very cheap services. Some insurance companies charge you, like 1,000 shillings for every million extra. Some small amounts. So those small enhancements are the ones I would say consumers need to look out for. People need to check, what are my third-party property damage limits? What am I getting back if I hit somebody in the road? There are also areas where insurance companies look at your passengers. Let's say you're carrying somebody and then there's an accident. There are also some benefits where they cover you for legal costs because somebody might sue you. So legal liability there. Also, there may be other areas that consumers like to look at, like windscreen, But also the windscreen also has a limit. They might say we'll pay you 50,000 for your windscreen, but to replace your windscreen we need 100,000. Consumers need to understand that it's you who was on the road, it's you who caused the accident. The insurer is just coming to be your friend, to pay your bills. The first thing you need to know is that the insurance company, they ask you pay us 4 shillings in exchange for 100 shillings in case some rules happened. So now to paying you back that 100 shillings is where the complexity comes in, and that is where the consumers need to know. Insurance companies prefer if you pay the small claims, and then the insurer only pays big claims. And it's really just to make sure you're more careful on the road. So that is called excess. Now, if you want to not pay for excess, you buy an excess protector. The second one is insurance companies also look at cause. We have exclusions. For example, if you look at one of the key exclusions that insurance policies had, and this is historical, it's not a Kenya issue, but just globally, is things like war, civil uprising. So political violence and terrorism was one of the key exclusions that people are not covered for. So that one is an area that you need to look at buying back. Third area, which insurance companies like to upsell to consumers, is something called courtesy car. Courtesy car is simply assuming your car is in the garage, you can get a car, but then they base it on number of days or the car value.
Motor insurance cover provides various levels of protection to the insured and other road users in the event of an accident or incident. It is therefore important to understand your policy before you sign on that dotted line. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Coming up, we chat with Linda Abuto from Soleil Tours and Travel on what it takes to get into the business.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Moolah, kila siku waste that moolah, make more bila stress.
Welcome back to Mint, where we explore the world of personal finance, making it simple and relatable for you. Whether you're looking to earn, spend, save, or invest, we've got you covered.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
For some, tattoos tell stories they never want to forget. For others, they are reminders they would rather erase. A new wave of technology is giving people that choice through laser tattoo removal. Tonight on Inside Hustle, we visit Inkless is More, a laser tattoo removal clinic that is redefining second chances, one laser beam at a time.
From bold tattoos to subtle ink, body art has long been a form of expression. However, sometimes the story behind the ink changes. At Inkless is More, they say it's never too late to rewrite your story.
To understand laser tattoo removal, first you need to understand how the tattoo is done. The tattoo artist inserts needles on your skin to the middle layer of your skin. The tattoo fades away with time because the body tries to naturally take the ink away, but it's the small particles that it takes. So the laser goes through your top layer and hits the ink and breaks it into small particles. And with time, the body flushes the ink away. That's why you need several sessions to remove the ink.
Tattoo removal is not just about image, it is about opportunity. Most clients visit Inkless is More for professional reasons or simply to start fresh.
In Kenya, you can't join the police or the KDF with the tattoos, but you have to come like a year earlier so that you can undergo the process, because you need more than 5 sessions to remove a tattoo. Also, the people going abroad, girls who want to be married, maybe your partner doesn't like your tattoo. Yeah, and also we have parents, and also you can't tell a child that don't get a tattoo and you have one. We are the solution providers. For the KDF, if you want to join, we actually work with the authorities. You can start, and then we can offer you like a certificate saying that you are undergoing the process. So with the time you will not have the tattoo.
Names, initials, and cover-ups are at the top of the list of tattoos people regret the most. For Gabriel, he got a bat tattooed while in high school with the help of ballpoint ink. Now, years later, he's here to let the ink fade.
Nilichora nikiwa high school, so I regret because sikuwa najua. Nilichora tu ile youth stage ilikuwa inatusumbua. At that time, ulikuwa unaiona toka mbali because nilichora na ink ya shule. At first ilikuwa very dark, but sahi hata uwezi jua, it's shading away.
And you can see no scars, no like aftermath. The skin will go back to normal. Most of them are names of your partner you had before. And also we have like the tribal, the butterflies, especially ladies with butterflies all over, we are removing them. Also we have people that didn't know that you can remove a scar instead of covering the scar with a tattoo.
It is a growing opportunity with demand rising as more Kenyans seek safe professional solutions. Setting up a laser clinic requires proper medical equipment, training, and hygiene standards.
You need the machines, obvious, because this work is the machine, and you need the latest machines. The one we have now is called picosecond laser technology. It hits 1 trillion in seconds. That's why we break down the ink into small particles.
The cost of going inkless?
Removing a tattoo is costly than getting one. For one session, we charge only 4,500. And we have also the packages like 3 sessions, we charge 10K. 5 sessions, we charge 15K. Also, you save a lot on that. And also we have the unbeaten, unlimited package, which is 25K. That's until now, all ink is gone.
It is a process that requires patience. The body needs time to heal and naturally remove the ink. After each session, clients are advised to avoid exposure to the sun, scratching their itching skin, and exercising to prevent infection.
So when you get the session, there is things that you can't do. Like you will have to stop like exercising a lot to avoid a lot of sweating, avoid much alcohol, smoking, so that the body will work well. Yeah, and also avoid the sun, avoid scratching, because even when you get the tattoo, you get like irritation, so no scratching.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
In 2013, a photo taken on a sunny day in Bamburi, Mombasa at the beach changed the course of Linda Abuto's life. At the time, she was a young mom enjoying a day out with her daughter and a close friend. As their children played in the pool, Linda and her friend took a stroll along the beach and took photos, which they later shared on then Facebook, now Meta. Little did she know that photo would spark the birth of her business, Solel Tours and Travel. Here's her story.
12 years ago, Linda Abuto, a young mother, along with her friend, took their children to a hotel in Mombasa for a day of fun. While the children swam in the pool, the two went for a short walk to the beach. To preserve this memory, they took photos and shared them on Facebook. Unaware to Linda, this photo would spark the start of her business, Solel Tours and Travel.
Someone somewhere, a stranger, commented on my photo, one of my photos, and he asked if I can book for him a hotel. The next Saturday, I went back to Severin and asked them if they can book someone from outside. We went back to the hotel with my friend. So the hotel asked us if we wanted the commission to be paid to our account. So my friend was just beside me and I asked her, so this thing really pays. We can do business in this.
2 months later, the stranger arrived in the country and Linda, accompanied by her friend, went to the airport to pick up the guest. To her surprise, it was not just 1, but 7 guests.
So we took them back to Severin. After 7 days, Severin calls. They ask where they should deposit the money. I didn't know how much it is. But when it landed in my account, I was like, wow, this is good business. That was on a Wednesday when I got the money. Then on Friday, I was in Nairobi registering Soleil Tours and Travel. That was back in 2013.
Since then, Soleil Tours and Travel has been providing memorable and enjoyable travel experiences for its clients who mainly come through referrals. Locally, it organizes trips to Amboseli, Masai Mara, Savo East and Savo West, Nakuru, Naivasha and the coastal region. Additionally, it organizes trips within the East African region, including Tanzania, Uganda, and Rwanda.
When we have a client for local trips like Mombasa, Masai Mara, we will consult with the client. He or she will tell us his budget. Once the client shares his budget, we will then do an itinerary. The itinerary will include also activities, accommodation, and logistics like transport and transfer for the client. The client will tell us, this is what I'm comfortable with. Once they are ready to pay, we call the hotel, we do a booking voucher to the hotel. Before then, we will have called the hotel to ask if there is availability, depending on the hotel that the client will have chosen. If it is Masai Mara, we will have to check if our drivers for Masai Mara are available. And also, if it is coast, we will check if there are flights, if there is SGR.
Despite its growth, Soleil Tours and Travel has faced several challenges, including the COVID-19 pandemic, the floods that stranded some of its clients in the Masai Mara in 2024, and protests in the same year. Linda, however, persisted during the COVID period by offering local packages such as hikes to Ngong Hills and Longonot, along with road trips. She gained increased trust from her clients, whom she helped evacuate from the Mara to other accommodations. Additionally, she persuaded her international clients who had already booked their travels that it was safe to visit the country despite the demonstrations. The company has expanded to offer international travel experiences in countries such as Singapore, Turkey, Dubai, Israel, Malaysia, and the Schengen area. For such trips, Linda assists her clients with visa processing and provides them with an itinerary for their stay. In recent years, the travel industry has seen a notable shift, with more people drawn to curated group travel. For these groups, Linda arranges detailed itineraries that feature unique experiences, access to attractions, and guided tours. This enables her clients to fully immerse themselves in the culture and environment of their destination without worrying about logistics.
For example, a girls' trip, most of them, they want to go for shopping, or they want to go for wellness, or they just want to go for fun. So Dubai and Turkey is popularly known for shopping. And South Africa, wine tasting. And most of the boys, they prefer track and field. Some of them like motorbikes, races, safari rally. Like now we have MotoGP that is in Qatar.
From the photo that started it all, and the stranger who is now one of Soleil Tours and Travel's biggest clients, Linda has expanded the company to cater to a diverse range of travelers with various interests and budgets worldwide.
Linda's story shows how opportunities can often be hidden in plain sight. Her 2013 social media post opened unexpected doors, and now her clients get to discover the world a journey at a time. This wraps up today's episode of Mint, Money Made Simple. your essential guide to personal finance designed to help you make your money work smarter for you. For more information, visit mint@mula.co.ke or tv47.digital. Stay safe and keep minting. Until next week, I'm Lydia Nyawera.